a conversation ready to like halfway through it.
So to start off with this corner project, you're going to create one square that is 1.75. So this is 1.75 inches by 1.75 inches. You also need to create our spacer block, which is 0.06. Our spacer block is 0.06. From there, you're going to end up laying all of this stuff out in this shape right here I'm highlighting. You're going to duplicate, so Control D to duplicate. You need 6 of these squares, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 of the spacer blocks. I'm literally just putting the spacers in place. There's not anything more than that other than me zooming in and using them to space the next thing out. So from there, after I got everything spaced correctly, I'm going to come to this next step, and I have these lines going through here. We're going to weld all of this together. So I have 4 lines connecting. These are essentially they're hinges. Right now they're independent, but once I weld them together, you can see that it's going to end up acting like a hinge. Step, it's welded together like I did there. Grab my square out of the water cup at the sink. So that's all welded together. This one, now I have cut my name through it. I'm gonna move it off the line so it looks more normal. So I need to bridge it after I cut my letters through it. And this is initials. Thank you very much. This is initials and then your class hour. Next step, I'm going to bridge, which I did right here. Created a bridge. If your letters of your name don't need a bridge, then congratulations, you have one less step. I need to create a square that's going to completely cover your letters, because we're going to cover them from the inside. So example of what I'm doing here, and try and get this to show up. So this is in real life. This was just pulled out of the cup of water, seeing if any water is going to get into it over the weekend, see if I did a good job welding. I have my initials painted into it. Paint didn't turn out very good on that side. But I'm using these squares that I was just talking to you about to completely cover or make this thing waterproof from the inside out. So we can still identify it because the initials and the hour are there, but we're covering it so it doesn't allow water to go in. The next step is, and I'm going to actually do this step, we're going to go to Machine, Create Toolpath. It's going to be an online toolpath. Click on Basic Cut. You need to make sure that the speed rate is 100. That is the most important thing out of all of this. Do not create a lead in. We do not want a lead in. That will cause you problems. You'll end up with a bunch of cut loss. You do want to adjust start point and then go to middle of longest segment. And then it has created a cut path. So I'm going to click this cut path button, or show tool path button. I click on that. So now all I see, I lost everything here except for the tool path. This was a previous tool path I made from when I actually cut this thing out. So the tool path that I just created right here. So create tool path. I'm going to move my objects over here close to the 0 coordinates. Then I come up here to X and Y, 0 for X, 0 for Y. Now it's in the 0 coordinates. Then I go to Machine, Output, and I'm going to click Cut Now. Make sure when you do this, you're saving it to your flash drive. And when you do this, you need to make sure that you put on here what it is. So this is square, cut, file, and this is the second one I've done, so I'm going to put 2. So the cut file helps me identify what's going on over at the CNC machine. When I get to the CNC machine, I know that it's not my design file. The design file will crash that computer. So you want to make sure that you label this as cut file. So then I can go ahead and hit save, and then I'm done. Before I log off this computer, I'm going to hit the save button or file, save as, and save it to the flash drive. And then we are completely done with this. You can exit out of this program and hit stop